All right, let's talk about Sonic Frontier. Specifically, I want to take a look at this video that IGN posted up yesterday as it finally shows off the combat for Sonic Frontiers. I had commented a bit on the initial video that was released showing our first real glimpse of real gameplay, and it unfortunately didn't look the best. I think there's a lot of hope right now that Sega can pull this off with Sonic Frontiers. It ends up being a good game because 3D Sonic really needs it. And, well, let's take a look at the combat trailer here today. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out a ton. And if you're new to the Spawn Wave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. Let's head over here to the Sonic Frontiers video from IGN yesterday. And the idea is it's going to be showing off the combat. Now, the thing that's really being talked about currently is the landscape that they've shown off so far. And it being very... I mean, I say generic. Like, it doesn't. If you look at this right here, and I just removed Sonic from that bottom part, right? Like, just blocked him out. And you looked at this. Would you tell me this appears to be a Sonic game? No, not really. Like, the art style, the everything about this doesn't really lean into the idea of Sonic. Like, that's the biggest thing there. And it's not necessarily a bad thing for Sega to try something different with Sonic. In fact, I encourage it at this point with 3D Sonic because it sort of needs a bit of a wake-up call here, especially after seeing 2D Sonic have a big-time revitalization with Sonic Mania. 3D Sonic needs something, right? So, unfortunately, when I see this, and then I see people say, oh, it reminds them of the default Unreal Engine like assets that you can buy on the stores. It's unfortunate, but I figured, hey, you know what? If the landscape and the environment doesn't look the best in terms of it being very unique, maybe they have some new ideas when it comes to the combat. And in some ways they do, but in other ways it looks very weird. Like this part here where Sonic is just punching and kicking this, I don't know, this enemy with a bunch of balls around it. It doesn't really seem like it's as impactful as I think they're getting at here. Like, the idea is when Sonic punches, they kind of do it in single frames almost, right? Like, where it pauses for a second. And I think it's supposed to have that feeling of, like, Sonic's punching really, really hard. They even screen shake a little bit. I don't really get that sense. It just, it feels kind of jarring almost the way it happens. And then the camera cut there, and he has, like, this little finisher that he does. And these enemies, I get what Sega and their development team's trying to do. They're trying to have interesting, or I'll say enemies that have levels to them, basically. Rather than Sonic run up, hit them once, and then chain to the next one and the next one. They're trying to make it so you have to think a bit about how you would approach these different enemies. And that is a bit of a change from what they've had in the past. I think the thing that I'm looking at now that's kind of unfortunate is they don't look particularly interesting with what's going on. I mean, the most interesting move they've shown is one where you kind of run around them, because I could see how, like right here, I could see how that could be used for a number of different enemies. And in fact, they show that. They show how it's used for this enemy that has like a shield that they wear. It pops it up, and then you can hit their vulnerable spot underneath and take them out that way, as Sonic can't seem to break through that there. But it's also used later on in the video as well. The thing here, though, is like Sonic just seems so out of place in this setting. Like, even the noise just now of Sonic getting hit and the rings popping out, even the sounds feel like they don't fit in with I don't know, this more realistic look that they've decided to go with here. Now, this one, it looks like it's just kind of throwing its little armor around as like a propeller. And there are times in this, I will say, this gameplay demo, I'm not 100% sure if the person who's playing it has played it before and they're kind of learning on the fly as they're showing it off, because there are times where it's not the best gameplay. So here's some different enemies, and these ones seem a bit faster, and Sonic has to kind of bounce around between them a bit more. And you can see kind of that blue wisp that they're using again that just propels them up in the air. There's one part of this gameplay video that actually looked really good. It also looks like a dodge where it slows down time a little bit there. Also, I'm noticing that when Sonic punches, his arms and legs stretch a bit. And I think that's just kind of this stylistic effect that they're going for. Again, looks weird, looks kind of awkward. Okay, so this is the part, and I think they kind of do this by accident. They have the wisp effect, and it launches all the enemies up at the same time. It would be extremely satisfying to be able to launch them all up, and then Sonic, being Sonic, who's very, very fast, takes all the enemies out at once. Just like jets between all of them, and then maybe does a cool effect where it pauses for a second, and then they all just get defeated immediately. That'd be kind of cool. This is... I guess somebody at Sega was a big fan of Shadow of the Colossus. And the idea here is I feel like the Sega, the development team there, is trying to wow us with a big open world and big enemies. The only issue is we've seen it before. So I kind of think a better way to go about this with a large enemy in this capacity, you can make the enemy larger, sure, but if there were more interesting ways to get up the enemy to the top where obviously they're vulnerable, like this is a good idea. You have to kick their legs up and then hit the enemy underneath of their leg, and it will then damage them, and eventually they try to slam down, I guess, their arm, and you run up the side of it. In this case, they have like these blue, almost wind tunnels that you run up, and it launches you up the side and everything. I feel like there could be a bit more to some of these larger enemies just because Sonic is obviously very fast, so you could have some pretty cool effects and different ways to get up. Whereas in this case, up the enemy, where in this case, they have like these red portals shoot at you and you can't get through those. They even, for some reason, have like shields at the top here guarding the pillars. And then Sonic does his strange like arm, leg, stretchy thing and takes it out. A lot of the combat, unfortunately, right now, to me, looks pretty awkward. Now, how could this get better? Because, as this is almost the end of the video, what I think could happen, and again, this is more the hopeful Sonic fan in me, someone who wants this game to be good. What I think could happen here is we are indeed seeing the very opening part of this game to where there is like nothing advanced about this. It's all simplistic. You're still filling out your skill tree, or you haven't even started it yet. And the only reason I say that is because we still don't even have like a hub up on the screen. Like you can't see a ring count or anything. So I wonder if they are hiding something. My only issue is, why are they showing us this stuff? Because it doesn't put the game in the best light. I know Sega and IGN have some sort of deal, obviously, that they're setting this up in some sort of order and showing it to us. So Sega might be tied right now to where they can't say, okay, don't show the next 3 videos that we've already agreed on, because they've already agreed on them. So like they have to kind of hang out and I guess hope that the next video changes our minds. But instead, we've gone in the complete opposite direction from what I've seen online. They showed the traversal part where Sonic's moving around and stuff. Again, looked a little strange, but everyone was like, oh, the combat might save it. Now we've seen the combat, and people have actually gone the opposite direction. They're like, wow, this game actually looks worse now because of the combat. So the marketing so far for this game has not been good, and I hope that's not reflective of the final product. So maybe some of the other parts of the world, because this is apparently the opening part, are more interesting to look at. They don't look like, as people said, like the generic Unreal Engine marketplace assets that you pick up. And maybe there is more to the combat outside of what we've seen from Sonic so far. Sega's looking for very good review scores on this one. So here's hoping there's a lot more to see with Sonic Frontiers. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Hey, maybe you really like the gameplay. Let me know, of course, down below what you like about the trailer and stuff they've shown so far, and then what you don't like about it. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I'll see you next time.